All right, we're back on MinneZona Sports Live. You know, I thought this by the end of this year, I knew this was going to happen. I feel like I knew this was going to happen. But first, before we get into it, we have to welcome our guest, Austin Handley. Claps all around for Austin for coming on the show.
Woo, woo, woo.
Austin.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, man. You know, like there's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of talk ever since your Zoni Award win. I don't know if you want to consider it a win or anything like that, but
Are you sure it wasn't sooner?
yeah, it might have been. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
We'll go with that. But anywho, you won most absurd statement of 2021. The statement that was made, and this let's backtrack here, okay? I had for MinneZona, we had a post. I was talking about how RG3 was taking shots at KirkCousins. He shouldn't have, because RG3 is the last one to talk about taking shots at people. But all of a sudden, I see this comment in our video, and it says from Austin Handley, "You now have the fourth best quarterback in your division." In your division,
Congrats.
Better than Justin. Apparently, KirkCousins is worse than Justin Fields, Jared Goff. Okay, Aaron Rodgers. But let me add one more thing here, because there was another comment that you made in there that says, "I might even say Jordan Love over him if Aaron leaves." If Aaron leaves, explain yourself. I want you to explain yourself, sir. Explain yourself. How do you think that this would, I mean, how do you, this is the logic in this makes no sense. Explain this to me, please.
Man, you just want to get right to it.
Yeah, let's go.
Please.
No, really, to start it off, man. I mean, Vikings fans, I live in South Dakota, so obviously Vikings fans are insufferable around here. I mean,
Really? Oh.
every year you guys think you should be in the Super Bowl, and you expect people to be saying the Vikings are going to be the best in the NFC and your division and whatnot. Hear that a lot. And it very false confidence, I guess, is the way I see it. In my opinion, I'll be honest, Case Keenum probably took you further than KirkCousins ever will. And that's the sad truth. You could be spending half the money and you might make it further, or your record would be exactly the same, one or the other, but you wouldn't be any worse off. So I figure, why not just keep Case Keenum? But that's where I stand on that. But of course, that leads to most of my reasoning behind really saying Kirk is the fourth best in the division. I'll be honest. As of today, if I had to take quarterbacks out of that division, it would be, I'd probably take him third or fourth still. I'll be quite honest. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, we'll just throw him out the way, number one.
Okay.
But I'll be honest, I would take Justin Fields first.
Over Rodgers?
Oh, yeah. No.
Wow.
No, over KirkCousins.
Over KirkCousins. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I think going forward,
I'm gonna let
it's
you
gonna be a lot
finish.
better.
Go ahead.
Yep. I think it's going to be a lot better for him. I'd probably take Kirk third. And then I'll give you Jared Goff. That was kind of a tongue-in-cheek moment, but for sure. So.
Well, I'll give you some credit for putting him above Jared Goff, because there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. KirkCousins was 10 times better than Jared Goff this year.
Yep.
Now, granted, I'll give you this. I will give you this. The Lions did beat the Vikings.
That was great. I loved it.
But you can't blame Kirk for that now. You can't blame Kirk for that, because the defense let Jared Goff march down the field and score that touchdown. Do you think KirkCousins can go in there and play some D-back? Do you think he can go in there and rush the passer? I don't think so. That's just not possible. Yep. But he is definitely better than Jared Goff, I would say, at this point right now. But Justin Fields, did you see how he played this year, my friend? 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. The guy was a mess. Yes, I understand you had Matt Nagy as your coach, but that is not good for a rookie to start off. 7 touchdowns, only 10 interceptions. I wouldn't take I'm sorry. I wouldn't take Justin Fields. I said it last week on the show. I said Bustin Fields. Bustin Fields. It's not looking good for Bustin Fields right now, Austin. How can you put Justin Fields above Kirk and above Jared Goff for that matter?
You and I view football very, very different, my friend. You see, I take Justin Fields for pure potential there.
Okay.
Because for me, Fields, I think, has a lot of upside and a lot of things that other coaches and other players would gravitate towards going forward for sure.
Okay.
Like I said, you and I view it very, very differently, I think. Because you see, I've been a Chiefs fan my whole life.
Sure.
And I very often compare your buddy Kirk Cousins to one of my favorite, and you and I have had this conversation before. Kirk Cousins is Alex Smith, my friend. Alex Smith, the year Patrick Mahomes took over, was on an MVP year, arguably that year. And he did great. He took us to the playoffs a couple times. We had great records all of those years. But he's never going to take us over the top. I'm done. I've been a Chiefs fan my whole life. We have sucked pretty much my whole life. I think back to the 03 Kansas City Chiefs with Human Joystick, Priest Holmes.
Yeah.
Yep. Tony Gonzalez and Trent Green.
Yeah.
Quarterback, not great, good quarterback, but it's just not going to get it done. And we've had some bad years. Then you get Alex Smith, and it's like, oh, this is awesome. But unless you go swinging for the fence and go try and win it, you're not gonna. And I'm glad we're swinging for the fence now. And it took guts doing that. So I see kind of Kirk the same way, where I'm like, you're never gonna get over the hurdle with Kirk. So what's the point?
Well, I'll agree with you on that front because the reason why is because right now, the current situation that Kirk got brought in, let's rewind this a second. He was in Washington. Okay. He's in Washington. Let's all agree here that Washington is a disgrace of a franchise right now with Dan Snyder. Okay. So we can agree on that. Now, the weapons that Kirk had in Washington weren't great. I mean, Josh Doxson, was it Deshaun Jackson maybe for a year or something like that? Just, he never had a running game. And basically, I think he was carrying too much of the load, right?
Yeah.
So now people can look at that and say, okay, well, now he's going to Minnesota. Now, I'm going to agree with you on this. I think, yes, they overpaid for Kirk Cousins. I agree with that. But you had 3 choices. You had Kirk, you had Case, and you had Teddy. Okay. Out of the 3, you have to determine, okay, are we going to overpay for this guy? And if we have the right pieces, because they did, they had the right pieces. They had Diggs, they had Thielen, they had Rudy, they had the defense, which we thought was going to be good, but obviously things didn't turn out that way. But then you have Case Keenum. Are you going to roll the dice and hopefully he's going to have another great season? He might. Well, let's not forget Pat Shurmur left right after that game. He went Giants head coach. I wish he would have stayed, but he didn't. Teddy, are we going to trust Teddy? Look at what Teddy's been doing now too. I love Teddy. I've always loved Teddy, but I will say that Teddy is still not, in that tier of guys that would play well. Now,
I would agree with that.
Right. I appreciate that. See, we can agree on something. We can agree on something.
Not a lot, apparently.
Not a lot.
But at
Not
least
a lot.
that.
Exactly. So out of the three choices, I was in the camp of let's swing for the fences. I thought we could swing with the fences with Kirk. And to be honest, Kirk's stats have been outstanding throughout his seasons.
You can take those.
Yeah, but let's be honest. No one ever, the coaching staff, Zim, we come to find out, Zim really didn't have a lot of confidence in Kirk. He didn't have a lot of confidence. Now, yes, I agree they overpaid. Yes, there's, good number of players that are better than him, Mahomes and Brady and all these other guys. But that's right. But that was something they needed to do in order to get him to come here. Now, with the Case situation, I love Case Keenum. I will always be grateful for Case Keenum. Okay. I will always be grateful for Case Keenum. But are we going to roll the dice on that? Because after Case left, he hasn't been the same. Okay. Nope. To be honest. So those were the three.
Better than Baker Mayfield this year.
Oh, that's true. And that's
very true.
I think Baker's terrible. I think Baker's terrible, but they should have put Case Keenum in. I agree.
That's what I said.
Yeah. That's what Voldy said.
Every time they put him in, they won.
Yeah.
Literally every time that they put him in, they won this year.
Yeah. Stefanski. Just saying. Yeah. Stefanski. Hello. But anywho, that's kind of how I look at it. But the comparison with you saying that Alex Smith and Kirk Cousins, I think is a good comparison. I really do agree with you on that. But it was a swing for the fences and we whiffed. Okay. We're moving on. We got guys coming in, but I
feel like you're swinging for the baseline, man.
Swinging for the baseline. All right. That's fine. We can disagree.
Hey man, we're just trying to get on base. That's what gets those big money contracts.
Right.
Anybody can hit a home run.
Right. It's true.
We're all about wins above replacement.
Exactly.
That's how you end up 8-8.
Yeah. Well, and then they're 8-9, but there's that. But anywho, I think the zoners had a different opinion on this. Now, I am not in the camp of the Vikings are going to be the best in the NFC. I've never been in that camp. Okay. I'm one Viking fan that can be realistic. Can be. Okay.
I'm glad you can, because there ain't very many of them.
Yeah. The thing is I didn't think we were going to Super Bowl either. I was hoping we'd make the play. I thought we were a playoff team at some point, but that wasn't the case because, with Zim and all the drama that ensued there. But the zoners think that it's absurd statement. Do you look at it and think, okay, yeah, it is a little bit absurd statement? What do you think about
my statement?
Yes.
No, like I said, I mean, I might move them up one spot.
That's fine. That's Voldy. Is that all right? Yeah. I mean,
I just like the fact that we've gotten this far in the conversation. We've yet to even throw out the fact that Andy Dalton played probably as many snaps as Justin Fields this year, and he's not even in the conversation.
That's still take him, man.
Oh, you take Andy Dalton over Kirk Cousins?
No, you're getting closer. See, this is where I'm like,
Careful. You don't want to get 2022 now.
No. I'm just letting you know that there might be somebody else in the division other than those couple quarterbacks we were talking about. That Field and between Jordan Love and like you said, even Andy Dalton possibly. Those two, it's too. There's not enough for me to say yes on that right now.
Okay. All right, good, because you'd be putting yourself up for dangerous territory right there again. But anywho, besides, the thing is it's no hostility. We can disagree on things and whatnot. It's all fun. It's all fun and games. That's why we're kind enough to give you this. Okay, we're gonna have this coming for you. I think this is gonna be. Voldy worked hard on this. Now, don't forget that he did work hard on this. So we'll make sure we find time to get it to you. So maybe even we throw in a sticker for you. How about that?
Oh. Down for that. Oh, give me some good pictures and have to send them back. Maybe post them on your page then.
Hey, there you go.
We love it, man. Especially when the Bears next year sweep the Vikings.
See, now you're just getting into territory where this, I mean,
Oh,
a little far out. It's a little far out, which there are some things that you can look at and say, okay, but be careful now. Okay. We're recording this. We're recording this. Okay. The thing is, this might stay with you 2 years. If you think they're going to sweep them next year, we'll see, depending on how things go with GM and coaches. So I'm not going to put you on that spot yet. Not yet. You mentioned you're a Chiefs fan.
Mhm.
What a game last night.
You won.
Holy, what a game last night. The Bills, the Chiefs, I feel like this is kind of the Mahomes and Allen is kind of like the Manning Brady type of game in a way. Two just juggernauts going bang, bang. What are your thoughts on the game, my friend? It was quite entertaining. What do you got?
I just about had to change my pants about 10 times during the game. To be honest. And I told my employer that if we went to win that game, I'd need about a week off to figure out what in the world is going to happen next. So if we wouldn't have turned out on top, I would have been upset. But considering how the rest of the playoffs went this weekend, I think we ended up in a good spot. There's a lot of people who got beat. A lot of good teams got beat. I think that, us being the only high seed left says a lot. So it's going to be sweet. Kind of where we expect to be. But obviously with how the season started, it kind of definitely makes it a little sweeter to find out that, we're back in the championship game again, or the AFC championship game again. So that's where I'm at for sure.
Yeah. Four in a row for the Chiefs in the AFC championship game. That's quite impressive. Now the game last night with Josh Allen being able to do what he did. And I think we can all agree that whoever won the coin toss was going to win the game. I mean, it's
in overtime.
Yeah, in overtime, or unless you think differently.
No, I agree 100%. That was exactly right. It was like, man, we better get this ball because we can't stop anybody. Right
now, you do have a former Viking on there, Mike Hughes. Oh boy, yikes! They gotta fix something there for sure. But
as soon as Honey Badger went out, I was like,
that too.
We're in trouble on defense wise. It was not good.
Yeah, not good at all. So let me ask you this. I know we're still always, you got to look at, you got the Bengals coming up, a good, young, up and coming team with Joe Burrow just absolutely killing it. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, all those guys. I mean, with everything that happened at the beginning of the season with the Chiefs, do you think that they're going to A, go to the Super Bowl, B, win the Super Bowl now? What do you think, Austin?
No, both.
Both?
No question.
Okay.
No question. They're going to win. But I would say that regardless of who we play and regardless of who's in the NFC, to be quite honest. I think, though, that with who's left, it's going to be tough. Don't get me wrong. The Bengals beat us earlier this year. It's not going to be a cakewalk. Joey Burrow's getting hit 40 times in a game. And whatnot. So I think it's gonna be a tough game, but the Chiefs, they're looking better than they have all year outside of their defense. I mean, don't give me a break, but who knows?
Who knows? Voldy, what do you think? Let me ask you that question too. You got the KC stuff on. Do you think you're in the same boat now? Go ahead.
I am in the same boat because of the performance. Well, first off, I want to put myself out there and say I did not see the last 2 minutes or overtime of the game.
Oh my God.
I fell asleep on the couch. Okay.
He's got a kid. He's got a kid.
It was my turn. It was my turn for bath night. And I was exhausted after being up at 5 a.m. on Sunday. Okay.
Honey,
cut me a break.
You're doing bath tonight. There's no way I'm missing this game.
I know that. I believe me, but Sunday night is mine. I get all my work done before bath night. get them in, get them out, and then just try to stay awake. But you get me past 7 o'clock, you're playing with house money, because there's no way I'm going to make it conscious through that game. And lo and behold, I wake up and I see that Kansas City won in overtime, and I thought, all right, well, it was probably a great finish. So yeah, the fact that 13 seconds get the game time field goal, I mean, completely absurd. But was I surprised? Maybe just a little bit. But I mean, I'm kind of on the same boat as well. I mean, you look at which 4 teams are left. I think maybe the Rams could put up a little bit of a fight, but at the end of the day, I don't know how you stop just the hot team in Kansas City right now. You know, from the start of the year till now, I mean, it's a night and day difference from where they were to where they are. All the corrections and just how they've just kind of taken themselves back to where they started off in that run back in even 2016, 2018, when they made those big runs. And even obviously with Super Bowl 53, getting that win too. And, you know, I mean, it's just going to be hard to stop with all the weapons. You shut down one guy, even the guys that 2-3 years ago, like, who are these guys? Pringle, Hardman as well. You know, obviously Tyreek Hill, and the more diverse backfield that they now have with former Viking Jerick McKinnon. They've got, you know, Edwards-Helaire has been hurt for a good while, but even with the mix that they have for them, I mean, I don't know how you stop Kansas City from just going all the way and winning it this year for the Super Bowl.
I almost like McKinnon better than I like Edwards-Helaire, to be honest.
Right, because McKinnon's got that, you know, experience. He's a smaller guy, he's the experience, and he was a quarterback in college too. So yeah, I mean, that helps him out a lot in the same boat with, you know, even Patrick Mahomes too. I mean, they got 4 guys that can play quarterback on the field. We've seen Kelsey.
Yeah, I like this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I like this guy. Maddie. Man, we're gonna get along great. You can just go get on your little trumpet. Down the horns to all your people over there.
Well, no, listen here. Okay. I didn't vote you for absurd. I nominated you. They voted. The zoners voted. No,
I totally voted for him. Most absurd statement, just because I didn't want me to win it.
There you go.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. I mean,
did I finish second in the voting?
You did.
So,
voting was
I did
2
finish
votes,
second. So other people were in the same, were voting against me. So
yeah, you know, you enjoy talking to me. No, you just
I'm well aware.
Let's backtrack a little bit, because back in the days of SMSU media, Voldy, you know this, myself and the Kerf Doctor worked on a little documentary on Mr. Austin Handley, which we had a great it was great, good, Dylan, a great good time.
Dylan.
Yeah, the Kerf Doctor. Yes, we appreciate everything he's got. But, you know, when we were doing that documentary, Austin, you know, you really kind of went in depth on a lot of things in the doc. I mean, what was your favorite part of, you know, doing the doc with us and just kind of explaining your story and then winning a medal? I mean, that's pretty outstanding as well. So what was kind of the most fun that you had when we were doing the whole doc, when we were putting that together? What do you got?
Yeah, so we did our doc back in 2014, 2015, somewhere in there. Anyways, I was kind of running around the world at that point. I was living out at the Olympic Training Center. I was getting to travel back here every now and again, see my now wife, see you guys, see everybody back at SMSU, and really just kind of enjoy getting away from all of that, all the training, all the traveling, all the competing, and really just do something with, you know, people who really helped me enjoy being, really enjoy running. And I will say, winning, you know, international medals, winning national titles, having American records, in Paralympic running has been awesome. One of the best experiences in my life. But I'll be honest, some of my favorite times of competing and running were back in high school and college, both SMSU and DSU. There shortly after going to SMSU.
Shout out to the Trojans.
Yep. Completely getting to enjoy just being on a team and doing that. was some of the best times of my life. And doing videos with you guys brings me back to all of that. Regardless of, even this show, getting to go back to being with some of those people. So that's really for me kind of the best part of everything I got to do during that time in life.
Sure.
Now we got a 2-year-old, so he runs faster than I do. So we'll see how that goes for him. But I will say that things have slowed down a lot for me since then.
Sure.
So just really trying to enjoy my time with my family. And I hope really soon, kind of one of my things really to do still on my to-do list, bucket list here, in regards to what I was doing before. I'd really like to start building a Paralympic program here in South Dakota.
Yeah.
Basically non-existent here in South Dakota. About the closest thing that South Dakota has to a competitive Paralympic program is Special Olympics, which really does great things for the community, but isn't a competitive Paralympic team or Paralympic club for people with disabilities.
Sure.
So anybody out there who wants to help out with that, has ideas on that, it takes a couple kids and a sport to do. And that's really where we're going to start it. And we're going to go from there. So.
Hey, I love it, man. Absolutely love it. I would say when we were doing that documentary too, I mean, just kind of piecing it all together, and then I didn't really know much about your journey and whatnot. And now when we got to do that, I mean, it's pretty cool. And man, that medal, that thing's heavy, man. That thing's not light. I mean, I remember actually Lexi, your wife, gave it to me, and I almost dropped it because it was like so heavy. I mean, I couldn't believe it. But it was such a great
in the closet. I don't know.
Yeah. Austin, it's been fun chatting with you. You know what's going to be even more fun is when I get to finally send this to you. Would you like your name on this? Would you like your name on this or no? I'm just giving you a hard time.
It's going to be sweeping up your tears here next season. So.
I love it.
We'll see, my friend.
Don't worry, it's seal coated. I put about 9 coats of sealant on that thing, so
it's going to need it.
Yeah, it's going to need it.
I'm not saying they're winning the Super Bowl or anything. I'm not. Yeah, I'm realistic. I understand. I understand where we're at. So, but anyway, we'll find a way to get it to you and get you going on it. But we appreciate the time. And now you are the first guest that has entered into the best guest of 2022. So
there we go.
You're starting off on a good note with that. So hey, you might have another award, hopefully another award here in 2022. So
you might want to have me on once or twice more, maybe towards the end of the year, because otherwise, people just forget about that. Yeah. So
true. Very true.
That's true. So, yeah. Gather your people though. That's all I ask. Gather your people, because there's a lot of competition out here. Trust me. It was a close race this past year with best guests, but you're making a good case. Don't worry. We don't forget. I promise. We will not forget. So anywho, we probably have you on again, because why the heck not? We had a fun time. I hope you did too. We'll get you the dustpan. It's just sitting here waiting. So
man, it was good catching up with you.
Heck yeah, man. We'll get you on. We'll get you on again. And yeah, more of MinneZona coming up next.